Good afternoon. This is Stacy Hall, VP of Marketing and Project Management at the McIlvaine Company. I'm here today with Bob McIlvaine, the founder and president of the McIlvaine Company, and we're discussing our new Industrial Valve Market Transformation Forecast Guide. So, Bob, you founded the McIlvaine Company a half a century ago. How have you leveraged this experience to serve the valve industry?
Well, Stacy, they say that practice makes perfect, and I guess when you have 50 years, you should do pretty well at it. But actually, we started out working on the analyzing and helping the purchasers of scrubbing systems in power plants. And one of the big challenges was the valves because of the corrosion and abrasion in the abrasive slurries. And that got us started on the valve market. And with the ability, for instance, in a scrubbing system to analyze the size of each valve and the length of the life and the types of valves and so forth, we've gotten a very good feel of how valves are used in all these different industries. And we moved on to many different other services. Pumps, for instance, use 2 valves for each pump, filters, etc. So working in with a number of different products and forecasting them helps us with our valve forecasts. But we've been very focused on valves. It's probably our main focus. We write an article every month for Valve World. We work with PE firms, with the large valve manufacturers, and even work with associations and governments. And associations, for instance, would be the Indian Valve and Actuators Manufacturing Association, where we had a year-long contract with them. So I think the aspect of it, I think that what is important is that we're looking at every industry in every country and for every valve type.
Yeah, that's really interesting and makes a lot of sense. How would you say your approach differs from others in this area?
Well, let's go back to the example of the scrubber systems. We use a bottoms-up approach. How many valves are there in one of these systems? What's the list price? And from then you can calculate what the volume adjusted revenue for that particular application is. And with our involvement in all these other products, we have the ability to do this bottoms up forecasting for every major application for valves. And this is in contrast to the typical reports that are top down. And our contention is, if you can't add bottoms up to get the top, how do you start with the top in the first place? And it's not like sand or something where it's predictable. So the size of the total market is very difficult to determine, and you really do need the bottoms up forecast.
That makes sense to me. This report is really extensive. I think it's close to 200 pages, and some of the key topics that are covered are market guidance, detailed forecast analysis by industry and by product, acquisition analysis, competitive landscape, and it also includes updates. And you can definitely check all this out on our McIlvaine.com page. But, one thing that I do want to point out, Bob, and I hope you can explain a little bit, is in this new guide, we're dividing revenues into valves and support. Here's a sample showing some of the forecast for each, but can you talk about why would we have this segmentation?
We have this segmentation, Stacy, because it's essential to the future of valve companies to understand that support, which used to be only about 15% of the total revenue for the valve companies, is over the next 15 years going to equal the valve revenue. So performance monitors, smart valves, service, and many other aspects of what can be supplied by the valve company to reduce the cost for the owner is going to be huge. And I might also add, it's going to be the tail wagging the dog, because the performance monitors are going to be the key to determine which valve gets purchased and what the cost of ownership is of the existing valves. And if the valve companies aren't involved in that, they're going to be in a very precarious situation.
Yeah, that's really, I think it's really new, critical way of looking at things and very important. So this report, the contents include industries, countries. I think there's over 80 countries covered, but it even breaks down to the individual company analysis. Can you talk for a minute on why we put so much effort into this and into the individual company analysis, more importantly?
Yeah, the individual companies are a key way, first of all, that we iterate to get the total market. So if you can't add up the revenues of the individual companies and then adjust for the volume adjusted revenue concept here, you can't really get a good iteration of the market size that you're forecasting. So again, if you can add up the revenues of all the companies in the valve industry and then determine how accurate the forecast is, it's I think very important. And another reason, of course, is the competition. We are helping companies evaluate the competition, and if you don't have very detailed information on the companies, it's very difficult to determine what kind of a market share you can get in an industry. And we even go to the lengths of looking at the actually the exhibitions that each of these companies does, hundreds of different exhibitions around the world, and it gives us a great sense of the of where these companies are going to be forecast, focusing on the future, what industries they're going to pursue, what countries they're going to pursue, and it's all revealed in their exhibition activities.
Yeah. It does sound like that's very important and really makes this report and guide different than some of the others out there right now. So let's take a second and turn to the ongoing services. We can see if we were to purchase this report, we get quarterly updates, meetings, and revision of the forecasts. Why is this valuable to me?
It's valuable from the standpoint that our goal here is to provide our subscribers with the niche forecasts, and this would be like 100,000, $10 million niches that to choose from. But these are changing all the time, and they're, as we were just talking about with the double-digit growth in the support, there are going to be adaptations and adjustments that you're going to have to make on a continuing basis. So having these quarterly updates, having meetings with us and working with us is, I think, an important benefit that we offer.
That sounds excellent. So just so everybody knows, this guide is available on our website at McIlvaine.com. I know we've been going through a lot of screens. All these screens are also available on the McIlvaine.com site under the Valve tab. So we are also available to set up a meeting, answer questions, and help you out with any of our products. We would love to work with you. Thank you.